Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to Syriana Analysis. I'm your host, Almassian. I'm doing this very quick video to inform you about the recent developments in Palestine and Israel. I'm sure all of you are already aware about the acts of hostilities between the both sides, but I think this is an unprecedented development since 1973. The last time Israel was caught guard off. This was in 1973 on Yom Kippur War when Syria and Egypt attacked Israel for the first time in order to capture the territories that Israel occupied in the 1967 war and illegally annexed them. This time it is different because even in 1973, Golda Meir, when she was the prime minister of Israel, she received contradictory intelligence reports about the preparation from the Syrian and the Egyptian side that say that they're coming to attack Israel. But these were all contradictory reports. But at the same time, Israel was getting prepared for such an attack by the Egyptian and the Syrian sides. They didn't know the timing, but they were suspecting that there could be an attack. But this time, the Israelis haven't expected this. This is the unprecedented that Hamas and jihadi militants are breaking through the fences from the Gaza Strip, which is the largest open-air prison in the world, by the way, and they're breaking through these fences and they're going and occupying settlements. They are occupying military sites. They're forcing people to flee with hundreds of them. I haven't seen such images and footage, to be honest, since I'm born. And they are taking prisoners of war from the military, from the ranks of the military, and also they're capturing civilians. And unfortunately, there are also lots of footage of bloodshed and killing and acts of revenge, which I personally do not endorse. And those were really ugly photos, to be honest with you. And I do not want anyone to suffer like this. But they have their own perspective. I have my own perspective on this. Now, why is this very important, guys? Because this comes at a time that also Russia is involved in a very big conflict with the United States in Ukraine. Therefore, United States is also busy with the Ukraine war, right? They're sending all their money, energy, ammunition, and intelligence support to the Ukrainian side against Russia. And this comes at a very crucial time, not only for Russia, but also for the United States. Therefore, this could help Russia, this attack on Israel. And I will tell you how is that, because I was checking today some of the commentaries on social media platforms, and I came across the commentary of Kimcom, who was absent from Twitter for quite some time, and today he posted this. He says, understanding the Hamas attack on Israel, Iran is aiming for a confrontation with Israel and the US. The success of Russia in Ukraine is encouraging Iran to undo decades of hostile US foreign policy in the Middle East. A bankrupt US government has just been invited to another war. The timing is opportunistic. The US government is forced to print trillions of US dollars as it struggles to raise new debt. Another war would lead to a significant increase in inflation and an accelerated economic decline of the US. If Iran mines the Strait of Hormuz, the global energy crisis would become critical. The Biden administration has used the majority of US oil reserves to stabilize domestic oil prices. Iran can increase the pain for the US government significantly. Ukraine is turning into a major defeat for the US and NATO. A new front in the Middle East would accelerate the US decline. The US government and its Western partners simply cannot afford it. Russia and China would benefit most. Iran understands this and is playing into the hands of its partners. And to be honest with you, I agree with this assessment because I do not think that an operation of this magnitude, operation of this complexity, that Hamas simply planned it with Islamic Jihad. I believe that Iranians are involved in this, especially intelligence support and military support and planning and execution and everything. And probably from the Iranian side, they found this is the right time now to act militarily against Israel through Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Palestine. Another report that is coming from the Middle East, which is, again, very interesting, but it's not really surprising, to be honest, and that is the preparation of Hezbollah. Hezbollah ready to attack Israel, reported clashes between Hezbollah and Israeli forces. Lebanon's Hezbollah is in full combat readiness to attack Israel, a local source familiar with the situation. Reports have just come out of shooting with Israeli forces. Initial reports point to Israeli forces firing at Hezbollah forces amassing on the Lebanese-Israel border. Footage below verified by 3 sources thus far. This is a serious development escalating the fears of the war escalating into Lebanon. More updates being shared live in current space. So this is just a video, guys, just to show you. Those are the Hezbollah motorcycles on the borders between Israel and Lebanon, and probably Hezbollah would get involved in this conflict, and this could also escalate. To be honest, because if, in my opinion, Hezbollah, Hamas, and Islamic Jihad all together come and do a joint operation against Israel, this will force the United States and other allies to intervene as well. And this could be probably the goal, that the United States would be involved in a war this time in the Middle East. In the past decades, it was always that these players were trying to minimize military presence or involvement of the US in the Middle East. But once the United States is busy with its war, proxy war in Ukraine against Russia, now probably from the Iranian side or from the Syrian side as well, they see that this is the right time now to create a situation that brings in the United States, and that the United States pumps more money, and this causes more inflation and more economic also damage to the United States, but at the same time to Israel. I want to say something also. My sources in Syria say that the Syrian army is on high alert, and also the long-range missiles are on high alert. Those are information that I collected and double-checked with different sources in Syria, and they all say that the Syrian readiness is also on high alert, which means this is not a singular attack by Hamas or Islamic Jihad. This is an attack by a coalition, which is Syria, Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and Islamic Jihad. And this, of course, embarrasses the Israelis the most. And in my opinion, this is a massive, huge intelligence failure, which is unprecedented in the history of Israel. And I believe today's attack from Gaza, with the unprecedented surrendering videos and pictures coming from the Israeli military sites, it will definitely damage the military intelligence reputation of Israel for a very long time, and probably even they will never restore it. Now, Bibi says that they are in a state of war, and Biden says that they are preparing military aid to Israel, which could be, as I mentioned, the goal of this attack from the Gaza side on the settlements, Israeli settlements, which are, many of them are illegal, by the way, under international law. And if you see the footage of people running to the airports, and of course, most of the Israelis are double passport holders. Many of them have Russian, Polish, and American passports, those who migrated to Israel and received an Israeli passport, and they became settlers on territories that belong for the Palestinians. So let's see. What do you think, guys, about this operation? This is a quick video. Let's discuss about it in the comments below. Do you think this will escalate? Do you think that other parties will get involved, like Hezbollah, like Syria, like Iran? Or do you think this is a short-term skirmish and clashes between only Hamas and the Israeli side, and it will end up with probably Israeli forcing Hamas militants to go back to their city, which is Gaza? And later they come and bombard it heavily like they usually do, and probably carpet bomb the Gaza Strip, just like some of the so-called pundits are calling now on Twitter accounts. They're calling on Bibi to bomb the hell out of Gaza. I mean, he tried it many, many times. He carpet bombed Gaza so many times. He choked the people there for so many times. Israelis created a situation in Gaza that is unbearable. 2 million people living in an open air prison. They don't have an access to electricity, to clean water. They can't travel anywhere around the world. They're just hostage there. So let's see how this situation will end up. Let me know your comments, guys. Let me know your opinions in the comments below, guys. I've been your host, Almassian of Syriana Analysis, and I will see you soon.